Yeah, welcome to the Badge Den. Let's get into some stories today. Number one, I'm going to showcase what's happening to the world right now regarding America, why the Democrats hate you, they absolutely do, who they're replacing you, and yes, they are replacing you, and where this all leads. Because ultimately, they do have a plan, and I'm going to show you that plan because they're saying it out in the open. Something I've been saying for a while. We're going to talk about what NASA's up to, which is very interesting, and it sounds like a plot from a movie. We're going to talk about the tariffs regarding India and whether or not that's going to impact us. And finally, we're going to check in on the WNBA. Again, all these stories are hilarious and awesome, except for the first one. The first one is, yeah, pretty nasty. So a friendly reminder, they hate you. Yes, they do. They absolutely hate you. How do I know they hate you? Because it's now been confirmed the Democratic Massachusetts governor, Maura Healey, is giving $30,000 to each illegal migrant family. That is your tax money. That is $30,000. And that's not all. That's not all, is it? No, it's not. They're also giving $4,000 per month in just cash, $500 per month for food, free healthcare, and free cable. I have added all this up, and it equates to $82,000 a year. That's more than most households make in America. That is part of the upper middle class. They come to this country illegally. They immediately get catapulted to the upper middle class using our money. Again, they hate you. They really do. Not only that, this is a wonderful thing coming out of New York. Absolutely wonderful. Makes you just giddy for joy. A $65 million taxpayer-funded homeless shelter opens in New York for LGBTQ people only. That is right, only for transgender and gender nonconforming individuals. Because trans rights are under attack? Imagine if this was for white people only, or black people only. Oh yeah, they've done that already, haven't they? Yes, this is disgusting. If you have to preface something, that should be illegal no matter what. It should be open to pretty much everyone. Now, if you want to do a women's shelter, that's something different. But if you're giving this to just the trans people or just black people or just, I don't know, giving $82,000 a year to illegals, that's nasty. They're not even citizens. They don't even belong here. And I want to surface this up as far as why is this happening? This is why it's happening. I hit on this yesterday. I want to hit on it again. Delia Ramirez stated in Mexico for some sort of large summit, I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm American. Somali representatives like Ilhan Omar have stated this multiple times. She's been caught when she went over to Somalia. She's been caught here stating that she is representing Somalis here in America. In other words, not Americans. They're not representing us. They are legit stating they represent illegals ahead of us. Why are people standing for this? Why are people not just absolutely over them? Because that is your money. They're literally stealing from you to give to illegals and then spitting in your face saying, we don't represent you anymore. And they're not the only ones. Don't forget about Rashida Tlaib and, oh yeah, another member of the squad, Ayanna Pressley, who believes that America is a terrible place to live. She can leave. She can leave. Absolutely. Please leave. Please. Rashida Tlaib, yeah, she's terrorist sympathizer. She literally supports Hamas. She hates America. She loves to chant death to America. She's not a good person. She shouldn't even be here. And Pennsylvania Democratic Representative Summer Lee, not familiar with this one, who suggested in the past that requiring only American citizens to be allowed to vote is xenophobic. No, it is the appropriate thing to do when you don't actually belong here, you don't actually live here, you've never contributed anything to society, you're not looking to assimilate, then no, you do not get to vote and choose who representatives are. No, you do not. And again, this is going back to that dichotomy I'm pointing out that's happening in the Democratic Party right now. The mask is slipping. They're telling you who they are. They don't represent us. They don't represent the Americans. They represent illegals, and they want to paint a new picture for you for where they're heading at the boat, where they want to take the boat to, the American ship. They want to take us right into socialism. And don't believe them? It comes from their own mouth. And I've cited this on previous streams. I have pointed this out. Zohan's not the only one. The Democratic Socialists of America are just calling for the abolishment of the family, decriminalizing prostitution, and performing abortions in churches. Yeah. These are the same radicals backing Zohan. For mayor of New York City, if he wins, they'll be calling the shots. Indeed, they're his constituent, essentially. They're the ones that prop him up, will put him in the forefront, and they'll be the ones that picking all of his aides, picking all of the people around him, and basically dictating policy. Because we know that he's a vapid human being. At the July 4th conference in Chicago, DSA panelists called the nuclear family racist, repressive, and a tool of capitalism. They want it gone and replaced with collective care where children no longer belong to their parents but the state. Blue hair, if you had a child, how would you feel if the state came, took that child from you, put it in some daycare center, and gave it propaganda 24/7? I don't think even you would like your child taken from you, and that's what these people want. Over my dead body. California's AB 495 is proof. It allows almost anyone to claim custody of a child with nothing but a signed form, no court order, no parental consent, no oversight. For those of you wondering what this is about, you can probably guess. If you're not doing gender-affirming care for your own child and your child has some sort of delusion that they're a different species or gender, then guess what? They can take that child away from you. If your cat's running around trying to poop in a litter box and you're not affirming that litter box behavior, yeah, you are going to lose your child in California. Again, over my dead body. This is what Mamadani's allies believe. Dismantle the family, strip your rights, and hand your kids to the state. That is right, people. They hate you. They don't represent you. And they're coming to destroy the very fabric of nature itself. Disgusting. And just a little piece de resistance about what is to come. There's nothing. Empty shelves, rotten odors plague government-funded supermarket in Missouri. Wait. Wasn't it Zohan that wanted state-based grocery stores? Yeah. Let's see how this works out. On the city's east side, the store opened in 2018 as part of a multi-million-dollar public-private revitalization of Linwood Shopping Center, operated by Community Builders of Kansas City, a nonprofit focused on urban development. The store has since become a massive reminder why socialism may sound great on paper, but in practice, it can be absolute disaster. These are legit pictures from the grocery store as of, I believe, earlier this month or late last month. This was a story I've been sitting on. Just wanted to weave in because, again, this is what you can come to expect. Hey, Bernie, where's those bread lines? It's good. It's good. Bread lines are good. It's a good thing. So this is what we can come to expect. And I love this quote. There was a time the store was on life support, said Pat Clark, a community advocate. I could tell you today, right now, it's damn near dead. Indeed, it is. I do believe that is, that's socialism in a nutshell, isn't it? Wow. A lot of people are freaking out over India. Why is Trump attacking India? It's very plain. It's very basic. We're going to get into this, and it makes a lot of sense. Trump raises India tariffs to 50% over Russian oil imports. Donald Trump is imposing additional 25% tariffs on India, lifting the total rate to 50%. And this is fantastic. India does not care about us. India doesn't care about the world. India, for all their false issues and their slums and pretty much heaps of trash, their leadership is at least focused on their country. They don't really care about their people, but they're at least focused on their country and doing what's best for India. Hats off to them. I wish more leaders here in America did what's best for Americans, and that is what Trump is doing. The question is, specifically, they're citing directly or indirectly importing Russian oil. How much oil? Well, let's put it this way. Over the last 4 years, since the Ukrainian war began, they have increased their imports of oil by 5,170%. No, that is not a typo. I checked it multiple times because I didn't think that was possible. Went and looked up the raw numbers and calculated it myself. Yes, 5,170% increase. Or if you want to annualize that, 1,300. Now, you might be wondering, well, what are they doing with all that oil? That's a good question. They're buying it directly from Russia because Russia has sanctions and then selling it. So they're literally acting as a middleman for Russia to sell their oil on the open market. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Again, if you are funding a war machine and you want the Ukrainian war to end, then if you cut off the spigot of money, guess what? Russia no longer has money. They don't got the rubles to continue to fund their war machine. I mean, it's just that simple. India has over a $40 billion trade imbalance with us. We both represent about 2% trade for either country. So frankly, either one of us could try to cut the other off. However, I'm pretty sure we would get the upper hand in this exchange. For example, the U.S. imports a lot of precious metals and jewelry. That's our number one thing we get from India. We also get electrical components. Again, very basic, minor stuff. These aren't like complex chips. These are more like muxers. And pharmaceutical drugs. Again, Trump has pointed out that we're trying to bring those home. So all these are items that either non-essential or things we should be trying to produce here in-house. Makes sense. India, on the other hand, they get refined petroleum from us. That might be a bit of a big deal. They also get aviation components and heavy machinery and components. Yeah, those are a bit more complex and going to be a bit more difficult to replace. So we're going to get the upper hand on the exchange pretty readily, and hopefully at least these two items can come in-house. Sorry, luxury items and goods, those people that really love their jewelry, it will get more expensive, but I could probably live with that. Not exactly a jewelry type of person. I mean, that's more of the upper echelons, right? So the electrical components, pharmaceutical drugs, we should be producing that in-house regardless. And let's get into some fun stuff. What could this is one of those things about where truth is stranger than fiction. NASA plans to build a nuclear reactor on the moon in a race against Russia and China. What? The space agency believes it can launch a nuclear reactor to the moon's surface by 2030. That's coming up pretty quick. According to directives sent by Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who is also serving as NASA's acting administrator. The plan was first reported by Politico and then confirmed on Tuesday. A nuclear reactor on the moon would provide a reliable power source for NASA's Artemis campaign, which focuses on exploring the moon for scientific discovery, technology advancement, and learn how to live and work on another world as we prepare for human missions to Mars. Duffy also warned that if Russia and China achieve their goal to power a lunar base with a nuclear reactor by the mid-2030s, the countries could potentially declare a keep-out zone, which would significantly inhibit the United States from establishing a planned Artemis presence, if not there first. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do it, we got to get there first, right? I mean, what's going to possibly happen regarding AI? Yeah, because again, when you pull out all the stops and you're just pushing for advance without asking why, but you're trying to get there before your enemies do, I mean, it's like a recipe for disaster, right? So that's kind of where we're headed. So I pray for whenever that launch occurs that it goes well, because that is nuclear fissile material being flown up into the stratosphere. Let's hope it doesn't explode over there. Oh, man. Yeesh, that would be awful, raining down all that material, creating essentially a dirty bomb over wherever that rocket goes up. I sure hope it goes well. And of course, essentially setting up a reactor on Mars. Hopefully it's a salt reactor. Hopefully we've learned our lessons and it's a molten salt reactor. So all the best. And finally, leaving you with something fun. I told you at WNBA you should be leaning into this. This was your breakout moment. This was it. This was your moment to jump out and say, hey, we've got something special in the courts of WNBA. We've got something you want to come see. The WNBA betting volume on dildos surpasses betting volume for who will win the game, according to Polymart. You heard that right. There is more money flowing regarding the bets on whether somebody's going to throw a dildo out there than there is on the games themselves. Why? Well, since this story broke, just yesterday, overnight, there's already been additional dildos thrown out on the court. I believe total there's been 4 incidents thus far just in the past week. Yeah, that's I told you this needs to be this needs to be a common thing now in WNBA courts. Tell me this isn't real. It's not only real, but they now have dildo dailies. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But it gets better. It gets better because guess what? Fans keep throwing sex toys out on the court during WNBA games. People can now bet on the color of the next sex toy that flies out on the court. That's right. Not only could you bet if it's going to happen, you can now choose color. Yeah. I'm telling you, WNBA, you're missing a vital revenue stream right here. Oh, remember what they said? Pay us what you owe us. Yes. Tell you what, that's how you get it right there, right in your face. That's how much you get owed right there. Yep. This is Mouthy, leaving you off for today.